Milind Rege, the world of cricket in Mumbai will dearly miss him. Milind Rege passed away after battling illness on 19th of February 2025 at the age of 76. Milind Rege, I got to know him quite well after moving into Mumbai almost 20 years ago. He was one of the former Mumbai cricketers I could approach for stories and for matters relating to especially Mumbai cricket and cricket in general. Milind Rege, when I was first introduced to him, he was introduced as a childhood friend of Sunil Gavaskar. But then, as I got to know him well, as I got to know him over the years, he had an identity of his own. He was an institution in Mumbai cricket, a former off-spinner, captain of Mumbai, who had played some useful roles, important roles in Mumbai winning the Ranji Trophy titles way back in the 1970s. Later on, he became an administrator, a selector, one who had the talent to spot young talent and nurture them. Milind Rege was really an institution in itself. He was approachable, he was friendly towards the media, but he always ensured that whatever he said, the facts and the quotes were presented correctly. He did not tolerate any misrepresentation of facts or quotes, and he had a word of appreciation when the article came out well. I was fortunate enough to get some positive reactions for my stories from Mr. Rege. And of late, he has been positive with his reactions towards my videos. He would call me Krish or sometimes by my pet name Jiku, but he was easily approachable. Mr. Rege, as I said, would not tolerate misrepresentation of facts and had to be quoted correctly. Why would, after all, anyone misquote anybody? Mr. Rege, you will be very dearly missed. Thank you for all the moments. Thank you for all the help that you have done. And it was nice knowing you. You will so surely be missed. In the recent times, Mr. Rege, I had posted videos of his speeches, like last year when he was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Sports Journalists Association of Mumbai. I shared his speech video on my YouTube channel Jiku Diaries. I also shared his speech during the book launch of Sandeep Patil late last year, and also as recent as January, he spoke so high about Padmakar Shivalkar and also had Padmakar Shivalkar, Dilip Vengsarkar and Sunil Gavaskar as the all-time best 3 Mumbai cricketers to emerge from this city. But then, I did not expect to post a video of his memorial. It's indeed a sad moment, and the Mumbai Cricket Association had organized a memorial meeting remembering the deeds, the achievements and the life of Mr. Rege. Rest in peace, Mr. Rege. You will be missed.
Namaskar and greetings. We are here at the Wankhede Stadium. Very difficult day. Just about a month back, we had a wonderful celebration. 50 वर्ष Wankhede Stadium ला झाली होती. त्यांची उपस्थिती तेव्हा होती. त्या तिन्ही फंक्शन्स 12 जानेवारी असेल, 15 जानेवारी असेल, 19 जानेवारी असेल. It's a difficult day for everybody who is here in different capacities. सगळ्यांचं एक वेगळं नातं होतं त्यांच्याबरोबर. आणि म्हणूनच आपण प्रथम आय रिक्वेस्ट एव्हरीवन टू प्लीज stand for 2 minutes and it's offer and pay our respects. Well, if you just talk about the great man, Mr. Milind Rege, there was no role which he did not play in terms of his association with Mumbai cricket. Being a cricketer, the first ever match that was played at the Wankhede Stadium, he played an integral role in that, a half century where Mumbai won that match by innings and 96 runs. The cricketer went on to captain Mumbai, also different capacities here in the Mumbai Cricket Association as a committee member, of course then as an advisor, and so many roles that he played. And we just had the felicitation a month back, and that is why it is so hard to digest. But as they say, like cricket, like life, you don't know what the next ball offers, and you don't know what the next day offers to us. So there are a few people and dignitaries who are here. I would request them to come one by one and express their thoughts and share their memories of the great Mr. Milind Rege. Firstly, I invite the Honorary Secretary of the Mumbai Cricket Association, Mr. Abhay Hadap, to express his thoughts.
15 जानेवारी 2025 या दिवशी ज्या व्यक्तीचा सत्कार आम्ही इकडे केला त्याला श्रद्धांजली व्हायची वेळ एवढ्या लवकर येईल असं आम्हाला खरोखर वाटलं नव्हतं, पण तो दुर्दैवी प्रसंग आपल्यावर आलेला आहे. ह्या वानखेडेच्या 50व्या वाढदिवसाची तयारी करताना आपण कोणाकोणाचे सत्कार करायचे याच्याबद्दल आम्ही थोडा विचारविनिमय चालू केला. त्याच्यामध्ये 1974ला पहिली मॅच खेळली गेली, त्यामध्ये मिलिंद रेगे सर होते. मुंबईच्या कॅप्टनचा सत्कार करायचा, त्याच्यामध्ये मिलिंद रेगे सर होते. 1974 2024 50 वर्षामध्ये जे जे कमिटी मेंबर झाले त्यांचा सत्कार करायचा, त्याच्यामध्ये पण मिलिंद रेगे सर होते. आणि मग आम्हाला प्रश्न पडला की हे काय नाही केलं आहे मुंबई क्रिकेटसाठी. अतिशय लाईव्हली प्रेझेन्स त्यांचा असायचा, प्रत्येक मॅच ते अजूनही बघायचे. आता ते ॲडवायझर होते आणि ॲडवायझर म्हणून काम करताना मीटिंगमध्ये जेव्हा त्यांचा सहभाग असायचा तो अतिशय आम्हाला प्रेरणा देणारा असायचा. त्यांचं अतिशय विद्वत्तापूर्वक म्हणजे मुंबई क्रिकेटबद्दल त्यांचं जे ज्ञान होतं ते फार कमी लोकांकडे सध्या असणार. आणि असं परिपूर्ण असं एक व्यक्तिमत्व जे होतं, फुल पॅकेज ज्याला म्हणतात, तर तसं व्यक्तिमत्व आज आपल्यामधनं गेलेलं आहे. आणि इट इज ही फार मोठी हानी आहे मुंबई क्रिकेटसाठी. आम्ही दोघे वरळीमध्ये राहायचो. वरळीला आम्ही त्यांचा मित्र कैलासवासी अजित नाईक त्यांच्या मेमरीमध्ये एक स्पर्धा करायचो. आणि बऱ्याच वेळेला ते फायनलची मॅच संपली की ते मैदानात हजर असायचे. म्हणजे बऱ्याच वेळेला न बोलवता पण हजर असायचे. तर त्यांना विचारलं कसं काय तुम्हाला जमतं. ते बोलले मी वरनं माझा जो वरचा माळा आहे तिकडनं मला वरळी स्पोर्ट्स क्लबचं मैदान दिसतं आणि मॅच संपल्यावर माझ्या मित्राच्या टुर्नामेंटसाठी मी येतो. आणि जवळजवळ 8 ते 10 वेळेला ते असेच न बोलवता आलेले होते, पण त्यांचा गायडन्स नेहमी आम्हाला असायचा. यापुढे पण काम करताना त्याची कमी आम्हाला निश्चित जाणवेल. मी त्यांच्या आत्म्याला शांती लाभावी अशी प्रार्थना करतो आणि रेगे कुटुंबियांच्या दुःखात MCA आणि मी स्वतः सहभागी आहोत.
After that, we'll come to the Joint Secretary of the Cricket Association, Mr. Deepak Patil.
नमस्कार. मिलिंद रेगे, पण आम्ही त्यांना रेगे सरच म्हणायचं. कधी आम्हाला मिलिंद असं बोलायचं कधी म्हणजे आम्हाला खूप भीती वाटायची त्यांची. पहिल्यांदा आम्ही त्यांना क्रिकेटर्स म्हणून बघायचो आणि त्याच्यानंतर आम्ही जेव्हा मॅनेजिंग कमिटीमध्ये असताना सर ज्या पद्धतीने यायचे म्हणजे अतिरिक्त भीती असायची त्यांचा जो येण्याचा जो टाय वगैरे लावून आणि त्यांचं जे नॉलेज होतं आणि सर्वात भीतीदायक म्हणजे त्यांचं जे इंग्लिश होतं फार भीतीदायक होतं. म्हणजे आम्हाला ते त्यावेळेस मॅनेजिंग कमिटीमध्ये खूप भीती वाटायची सरांची, पण ती भीती आदरयुक्त भीती होती. नंतर सर सिलेक्टर म्हणून होते. सिलेक्टर असताना त्यांचं एक वेगळंच विजन होतं जे मुंबईला कायम तसंच राहिलेलं आहे, आतापर्यंत राहिलं. नंतर ते मॅनेजिंग कमिटी मेंबर होते, CSE मेंबर होते, नंतर आता ॲडवायझर म्हणून होते. आम्ही 2-2.5 ते 3 वर्ष कंटिन्युअस सरांबरोबर काम केलेलं आहे. आमच्या मीटिंग्स व्हायच्या त्यावेळेस एक विजन, मॅन इज अ विजन असं असायचं आणि त्यांचं नॉलेज एवढं असायचं की आमची मीटिंग झाल्यानंतर आमचं 2.5 ते 3 तास त्या मीटिंगवर रिव्ह्यू व्हायची आणि जास्तीत जास्त वेळा सर बोलायचे. आणि त्यांचं जे एक म्हणतात ना की क्रिकेटचा एक इन्सायक्लोपीडिया आहे आणि काही फीचर्स प्लॅन पण त्यांनी केले होते. आता रिसेंटली सीझन संपत आला होता आणि काही गोष्टी आम्ही सरांबरोबर शेअर केल्या होत्या, पण त्या सरांचा अकाली जाण्यामुळे त्या तशाच राहिलेल्या आहेत. परंतु जसं अभय सरांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे आम्ही ती त्यांची लेगसी तशीच चालू ठेवू आणि सरांचं जे विजन होतं की म्हणजे बऱ्याच लोकांनी सांगितलेलं बघितलेलं आहे क्रिकेटर्सने की टॅलेंट एखाद्या गोष्टीत एखाद्या मुलांमध्ये टॅलेंट कसं शोधायचं ते खरोखर त्यांचं विजन म्हणजे त्यांच्या बोलण्यावर समजून जायचं. त्यामुळे त्यांच्याबरोबर शिकायला मिळालं क्रिकेट नाही बाकीच्या गोष्टी आणि क्रिकेट बरोबरच त्यांच्या प्रतिभाबद्दल खूप म्हणजे एकदम काही वेळेला मीटिंग जर अवेळ घेतला तर ते सांगायचे नाही मला असं काम आहे घरच्यांचं असं काम आहे. त्यामुळे तेवढंच ते घरच्यांसाठी तेवढेच त्यांचं खूप प्रेम होतं ते आम्हाला दिसून यायचं. सर गेले आमच्या आम्हाला खूप मुंबई क्रिकेट स्टेशनचं खूप नुकसान झालेलं आहे, परंतु नियतीच्या पुढे काहीच करता येत नाही. सरांना आत्म्यात शांती लाभो आणि तुमच्या कुटुंबियाच्या दुःखात आम्ही सहभागी आहोत. धन्यवाद.
I request the Honorable Treasurer of the Mumbai Cricket Association, Mr. Arman Mallick, to express his thoughts.
मिलिंद रेगे सर अपने आप में एक किताब थी, ऐसी किताब थे जो क्रिकेट के बारे में जानकारी इतना ज़्यादा रखते थे कि लोगों को इसका लिमिटेशन पता नहीं होता मुझे भी नहीं होता. 3 बातें मैं ऐसी बताऊंगा आज जो मेरे दिल को छू ली और आज तक मेरे दिल में बसा हुआ है और लाइफ लॉन्ग बसा रहेगा. सबसे पहली बातें, कोविड के बाद मिलिंद रेगे सर मुंबई टीम के चेयरमैन थे सेशन कमेटी के और मैं एज ए मैनेजर टीम लेके गया था बैंगलोर. एक छोटा सा प्लेयर था हमारी टीम में जिसकी उम्र बहुत कम थी, यशस्वी जायसवाल, और लगातार वनडे मैच चल रहे थे, विजय हजारे ट्रॉफी. 2 मैच उसको नहीं खिलाया, ड्रॉप था. उन्होंने मुझे फ़ोन किया शाम को करीब 8 बजे एंड ही सेड व्हाई यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग विद यशस्वी जायसवाल. मैंने कहा सर डिस्कस तो होता है पर शायद कुछ प्लेयर्स सीनियर प्लेयर्स को आपत्ति है. उन्होंने कहा कि ही शुड प्ले द नेक्स्ट मैच एज ए चेयरमैन आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग. और मैंने ये मैसेज दिया कोच को. विनायक सामंत कोच थे, उन्होंने बुलाया 2-3 सीनियर प्लेयर का नाम ले लूँगा मैं, और that boy was made play the next match and he scored double century in the very first match. उसके बाद रन करता गया और पीछे मुड़ के देखा नहीं और आज कहाँ है सबको पता है. ये उनका विज़न क्रिकेट के बारे में उनका नॉलेज इतना ज़्यादा था, समझ सकते थे आप लोग. दूसरा इंसिडेंट मुझे अभी भी याद है, लास्ट AGM जब था, लास्ट AGM में उन्होंने कुछ समय मांगे हमारे प्रेसिडेंट से और एक शब्द कहा था कि मैं मिलिंद रेगे क्रिकेट के लिए कुछ भी करने को तैयार हूँ और मैं आज अकेला घर में बैठा हूँ, मुझे कुछ क्रिकेट का काम नहीं है. यू डोंट पे मी एनीथिंग, मुझे कुछ मत देना, बट मुंबई की क्रिकेट से दूर मत करना. और उनको तुरंत हमारे आदरणीय सेक्रेटरी साहब जो आज चेयरमैन हैं प्रेसिडेंट से मिलाया और मिलाने के बाद उनको इन्वॉल्व किया और वो आज तक इन्वॉल्व थे हमारे साथ। और मुंबई की क्या हालत है आपको पता है, मुंबई ने क्या ट्रॉफियाँ जीती और बेस्ट टीम ऑफ इंडिया जो लास्ट ईयर हुई। तीसरी बात, एक सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट बात है कि रेयर ऐसा होता है कि जो इंसान जिस चीज़ से मोहब्बत करता है उसे करते करते दुनिया से जाता है। मिलिंद रेगे सर एक ऐसी हस्ती है, हम तो है बोलते हैं क्योंकि मुझे आज लगता नहीं कि वो नहीं है मेरे सामने, कि मैं उनको 25-30 सालों से बहुत क्लोजली रिलेटेड था। बहुत अच्छी इंग्लिश बोलते थे वो, और जिस संस्था को रिप्रेजेंट करते थे वो आप जानते ही हैं, सेंट जेवियर्स, उनका एटीट्यूड भी वैसे ही था। तो कोई रेयर होता है कि जो इंसान जो चीज़ को चाहता है उसको आखिरी दम तक करते हुए गुजरता है। और हमारे प्यारे मिलिंद रेगे सर क्रिकेट को खेलते खिलाते खिलाते और बहुत कम समय दिया उन्होंने किसी की सेवा नहीं देखी। और सबसे बड़ी बात क्या हुई कि मैं कांट बिलीव कि जब उनको सत्कार कर रहे थे यहाँ पर, उन्होंने इतनी अच्छी स्पीच दी थी, जिसे भी डाउट है वो स्पीच आज भी यूट्यूब में है। एक बार देखिए, कोई बोलेगा नहीं कि आज से 20 दिन के बाद या 18 दिन के बाद वो नहीं रहे। सो इट वॉज ए ग्रेट। मैंने उस स्पीच को बिलीव कीजिए सर, आज कम से कम 7-8 बार सुन चुका हूँ उनके जाने के बाद। हर बार खोलता हूँ, मैं यूट्यूब में है, मैं जिसको चाहे भेज दूंगा। वो स्पीच देख के लगता है कि ये इंसान सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्रिकेट के लिए ही बने थे और करते करते चले गए, रुके नहीं। मैं ऐसे एक नेक इंसान को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ। मेरी आंखें भर आई हैं जब सोचता हूँ तो लगता नहीं है कि हमारे आसपास नहीं है। भगवान उनकी दुआएं और उनकी आत्मा को हमारे आसपास ही रखें और मुंबई क्रिकेट हमेशा ऐसी अच्छा करते रहे। थैंक यू।
Thank you. Then I request Mr. Cyrus Brocha to express his thoughts.
Yeah, hello, I apologize, I'm not a cricketer, but I'm still a 10-year-old boy who loves cricket tragic, and I see all my heroes really, I still get goosebumps if I see Amol or Dick sitting there, and I can call them by these names now, years have passed. Mr. Sandhu I've met many times in the past as well. So for me, Mumbai cricket growing up in the 80s, we talk about the fact that we're not playing first class cricket, our stars are not playing, we're not playing netball cricket, we're not playing enough cricket, putting ourselves through some competitions. But growing up in the 80s, we knew every score, we knew every run, every wicket, and it was just amazing. In the center of that was this man behind. I want to tell you a quick story, I won't bore you, but it's a very interesting one. He used to work in the theatre, plays. A young boy once came up to me, very typical Indian male, coming too close, very loud, almost spitting while talking, irritating me a lot. And I spoke to him, and I honestly couldn't bear it. And then finally he said, "Oh, my name is Aditya. He knew I was speaking crazy. My dad, Milind Rege." And I just switched. You remember? I suddenly looked with great affection and respect, and then our friendship obviously grew from there. Next thing I know, I'm drinking with Milind Rege. It was surreal for me, coming from somewhere in South Mumbai, from a place where nobody achieved anything except, in the stock market. So I was just stunned. And then thanks to him, I'm suddenly drinking with Sandeep Patil. I mean, Ratnakar Shetty, Balwinder Singh Sandhu, Dighe and where are all the Raj Kulkarni, Amol, Dighe, of course, all generations, the ones before, the ones that I grew up on, the ones after, the present ones. This one man touched everybody. He literally is Mumbai cricket. And I just have to keep pinching myself when I'm sitting there every 2 minutes like I'm out of a movie and I go back inside. Milind Rege is talking to me like I'm his best friend. Calling me by first name, we're discussing politics, he's the man of the world. It was not just about cricket. It's like that famous quote, what the name of cricket, no, only cricket knows. Once he got to you and, we just discussed all kinds of things. Plus we discussed girls also, I have to be honest. Yeah. But all I can say is, he just touched everybody. I don't want to say this, but all the guys here will tell you, Diana is right there. He's touched generation after generation. Everybody knows who Milind Rege is, what he stood for, the cruise cricketer that he was. Should he have played for India? That's a story for another day. His great friendship with the one and only SMG. All this is public knowledge. But if you ask me, I'm not as a critic, but as a cricket lover, somehow I feel we got it right in terms of the 80s and the early 90s also. To that point, in terms of first class cricket, etc. Maybe it's time to follow the Milind Rege way, get back, play the circuit, play in India as well, not just the fancy tournaments. I think it would be as dominant as possible. But I won't lecture you anymore. Just want to wish Vijay's Raj. Thank you for your hospitality and your time
Thank you. Then I request my manager to express things.
Good evening, everybody. Normally, I've never given speeches or said anything during condolence meetings. This is the first time, and I agreed when I got a call last night from Mr. Hadap that would you like to speak. I said yes for a simple reason that Mr. Milind Rege, I cannot call him sir because we grew up together. We played in the same era from 1974 till now. We were together playing. Even when we got into administration, we were there. And his last role was as advisor, where I am also on the same committee as an advisor for women's cricket. But let me tell you, it was not only men's cricket for him. His knowledge about women's cricket was so great that whenever he watched every game, it's not that he was only watching men's cricket and he would be concentrating on that. Whenever the Indian team was playing, he saw to it that we performed well, and when there was a problem, when the team was not doing well, he would call me in the night. Why, Dana, why is this happening? Why is this fielding gone down? Why is the fitness level gone down? Let's do something for them. And then I used to pass this message on. At that time, I was a COA member, so I could help and talk to the players and the administration there. And we used to pass on these messages, and slowly and steadily the standard improved. And he was very happy when the team won. Especially, he could not believe that the women could play so beautifully. And that was his love for cricket. He didn't bother whether it was men's cricket or women's cricket. Till even as advisors, when we were in the meeting, his advice to the girls, what he believed in was discipline. He was so particular about discipline, and he wanted to send that message across to the youngsters today. That please be disciplined, play for passion, play with love for your game and for the association you're representing. Mumbai Cricket has done a lot. Mumbai Cricket Association is doing immense work for men and women cricket. And we as a team, as the CIC and the two advisors, when we used to sit in the meetings with the office bearers, it was such a wonderful meeting we used to have. The amount of ideas that were flowing right through. We've had hours and hours of meeting, and it was never boring because the stories that were there. If I can say there were two people who I consider encyclopedias of cricket, not only men's cricket, but cricket. One is Milind, and the other one is sitting here, Professor Ratnakar Shetty. Their immense knowledge about cricket is unbelievable and unparalleled. So I take this occasion, I don't want to speak more. I miss Milind, I will miss him in the future meetings, definitely, and I offer my condolences to the family. Please accept it on behalf of all of us. Thank you very much.
Then I request Amol Muzumdar.
An administrator, a selector, a column writer, chairman of selectors. He was in the advisory committee, he was in the cricket committee. He also did commentary in first class cricket. So, all the roles, he wore all hats. As far as cricket is concerned, he was fantastic. When we were growing up, there were two teams that were looked upon very fondly while playing time shift. One was Sandesh Mafla, the other one was Tata. Sandesh was looked after by Hemant, so I went to it. I was a part of Sandesh. And Rege sir obviously was with Tata Sports Club. We had fantastic games, fantastic matches. Well, there are two things which I would like to express over here. One was an advice that was given to me when I was really young, about 17, 18 years old, when I was playing for CCI. The you can only get in Mumbai cricket. When I got out, few times in games, I used to walk back very dejected, back to the pavilion, and my walk was very slow, very slow. And while going into bat also, my walk was extremely slow. He reminded me that more if you want to become a class cricketer, your walk to the crease and back from the crease will let others know how confident you are. That kind of an advice I've never got, and it could have come from Milind Rege. And I followed that till the last day of my cricketing career. My walk back was very brisk, and my walk to the crease was also. I tried to be extremely confident, although there were a lot of butterflies in the stomach, but still. So that was an advice. But the other story is that in 2006 and 7, I don't want to be too long here, but 2006 and 7 would go down in I think Mumbai cricket's history. One of the best seasons ever, because we were 3 games into the season, we were 0 points on the board. Yours truly was the captain. I had immense pressure, but it turned around. Rege sir was the chairman of selectors, and we picked some amazing talent. Rohit made his debut, Ajinkya made his debut. There were other guys also in the team, very young. We reached the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, somehow we reached the semi-finals. In the semi-finals also we were 0-5, but yet we went on to win the game. When I came back, first thing he said, Amol, I'm a heart patient, yeah. Do not do this again, please. When I heard it was 0-5, he said I almost had another heart attack. So I just stopped doing that. He had an amazing sense of humor as well. And I will always fondly remember Rege sir as a brilliant administrator of Mumbai cricket. Talent hunt was his forte. I think he must have. I can't see any other administrator doing that job. What he has done over the years, he has hunted down a lot of young talent. Which have gone on. I heard the story about Yashasvi Jaiswal just now from Arman Mallick, and I think he's been fantastic as far as talent hunting is concerned. I think it was his forte. All I can say, I can extend my condolences to the family. From the entire Mumbai cricketing community, I would like to extend my condolences. We have lost a true Mumbai cricket romantic today.
Professor Ratnakar Shetty sir to express his thoughts.
It's a very difficult situation to stand here and address in a condolence meeting for a friend who was very close to me. In fact, there was not a day probably we didn't talk to each other before. My last phone call to him, he had called me when he was admitted in the hospital, and he told me he's going for a checkup for a couple of days. And that got extended. We used to exchange messages on Mumbai cricket. And the last time I really called up to speak to him was when Mumbai took the first inning lead against Haryana. And he was happy that we would go on to the next stage of the tournament. Extremely concerned of our performances at all times. I personally came in contact with him, although following him as a cricketer, but my personal contact with him started in 1982 when I joined as a subcommittee member in MCA. Totally dedicated, devoted person to Mumbai cricket and always thinking about Mumbai cricket. But 2 instances which I want to share today of Milind Rege was
There was a function at Bombay Gymkhana some months back where he was felicitated as the Lifetime Achievement Award winner. And I can never forget that speech of his on that day. Because he spoke about how he overcame the problem of having a heart attack at the age of 26. And 50 years he continued playing and following the game with the same intensity as he may have done in the early days. And in that speech, he spoke about how Raj, his wife, helped him into continuing with his passion for cricket. And that really mattered a lot for him. I mean, he was totally devoted. And one never realized that Milind was a heart patient because he was tense at situations, some of the performances, as Amol mentioned. But otherwise, very cool. Always expressed his views, what he felt was good for Mumbai cricket. Not concerned about what people felt about his opinion in that matter. He never minced words. He was very clear in his thoughts. The second was a speech here on 15th of January 2025, where he spoke about Mumbai cricket, his passion for Mumbai cricket, and the opening game of the 1974, where the first class game was played at Wankhede Stadium. As having worked with him closely on the managing committee for a number of years, as I said, he never kept back what he wanted to say. There were times where we may not agree with him, but it did not deny him the position of expressing what he felt was not right with Mumbai cricket. He went on to become the secretary of the CIC. The Cricket Improvement Committee was introduced in 2001, and he was the member secretary of that CIC, Abhay Hadap as the chairman. Amazing performance. I think we learned so much from that committee. The one thing Mr. Sharad Pawar had, while creating that CIC, had told us that the role of administrator is to implement and the role of CIC is to decide on the future of Mumbai cricket and what needs to be done at grassroots cricket and Mumbai cricket. And it went on so well over the years. Even today, I think the strength of MCA is the CIC which still continues. And the way things are discussed and implemented for the betterment of Mumbai cricket. It's very hard to stand here and recollect all your thoughts on a person who meant so much to you. And for me, I always say that this is a cause for celebrating his life. He is no more with us. I think I always feel that his contribution to the game, to the Mumbai Cricket Association, the cricketing fraternity at large will always be remembered, and his life will be celebrated as somebody who did good for the game and good for the general community. And although it's a condolence meeting, I think let us also cherish the rich memories of what he had in his role as an administrator and cricketer. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And let us always remember what he has done for us and for the cause of the game.
Thank you, sir. The MCA's अध्यक्ष अजिंक्य नाईक.
कारण कुठलाही कार्यक्रम होत असेल तर मिलिंद रेगे सरांचा भाषणाशिवाय तो कार्यक्रम इनकम्प्लीट असायचा. त्यांनी आमच्यासारख्या यंगस्टर्सना तर नेहमी गाईड केलं, पण त्यांचं जे क्रिकेटर्समध्ये त्यांचं जे कम्युनिकेशन होतं, म्हणजे राईट फ्रॉम सुनील गावस्कर सर असतील, दिलीप सर असतील, सचिन तेंडुलकर असतील, किंवा आता जो सगळ्यात यंगस्टर आहे आयुष म्हात्रे 16 वर्षाचा, त्याच्याशी सुद्धा ते इझिली कम्युनिकेट करायचं. त्यांना जे काय कम्युनिकेट करायचं असेल, कुठल्याही डिसिजन घेताना सिलेक्शन प्रोसेसमध्ये मी लास्ट 2 इयर्समध्ये बघितलं की कुठल्याही यंगस्टरला बॅक करायचं असेल, आयुष म्हात्रे असेल, सुनील शेट्टी असेल, असेल, असे अनेक यंगस्टर्सना त्यांनी बॅक केलं आणि त्याचाच रिझल्ट आज ते मुंबईच्या टीममध्ये केला. आज त्यांनी लास्ट 2 इयर्समध्ये मला सांगायला चांगलं वाटतं आहे की 25 CIC मीटिंग्स, more than 25 सिलेक्शन मीटिंग्स आणि आवर्स ऑफ डिबेट, क्रिकेटर्सवर चर्चा, क्रिकेटवर चर्चा, डिसिप्लिन कसं आणायचं. म्हणजे जर या मॅचमध्ये कोणी रिव्हर्स स्वीप खेळला तर मिलिंद सरांचा पहिला जो अजेंडा असेल हा रिव्हर्स स्वीपवर असायचा की हे आपलं मुंबईचं कल्चर नाही, आपलं हे डिसिप्लिन आहे, आणि मग त्या टीमला, त्या प्लेयरला कशी शिस्त लागायला पाहिजे ह्याच्यावर त्यांचं नेहमी सिलेक्टर्सचं मार्गदर्शन असायचं. असे त्यांच्या आठवणी आहेत. त्यांचं मुंबई क्रिकेटबद्दलचं प्रेम आणि त्यांच्या आठवणी नेहमीच माझ्या हृदयात राहतील. मुंबई क्रिकेट असताना प्रत्येक माणसाच्या ते मनात राहते आणि मी रेगे कुटुंब, त्यांचे फ्रेंड्स, आमचे सगळे मुंबई क्रिकेट असोसिएशनच्या ते पॉझिटिव्हली हा प्रसंग घेण्यासाठी शुभेच्छा एकत्र, आणि मी आपल्या सगळ्या फॅमिलीला सांगतो.
Then on behalf of the Rege family, we request Mr. Dushant Mehta to express his views.
Good evening. Quick introduction, I'm Dushant Mehta from Milind's double life and from the other side, which is the corporate side. All of you all know he had a double life. Cricket was what his life was, but let me just tell you something about the corporate side, where every day for the last 40 years I've seen him bringing all the discipline, all his learnings from cricket onto the corporate field. His team, which is started Mumbai House, which like this place you can say is the temple of cricket. Bombay House is the temple of corporate India, and Milind owned it. Like someone mentioned about his anger or his temper or his thing, we were petrified of it. Quick small story. Mr. Ratnakar Shetty introduced me professionally to Milind, and he said that if anyone can understand what you guys are doing in terms of technology and so on, it will be Milind Rege. One look at Milind and we said कि यार इसको presentation क्या करेगा? As it is, he wouldn't listen. He would like Raj, we all know. So he arranged a presentation for us with Dr. J.J. Rani, who was his managing director. We worked hard at it. He gave us a brief. In the almost middle of the night, next to the presentation, he came to our office. He checked everything. He was thorough, complete, professional. He checked what we had done. We were doing the annual report, incidentally. It is the largest in the country. He checked every photograph, he checked every caption, the full thing. And next day he said that, listen, meeting is at 4 o'clock. He said, my MD is like a bulldog. He said that you be there an hour before time. We went, planned for an hour before, and as luck would have it, there was a morcha at Church Gate, right there, on the same day. And we had these huge Macintosh computers that, it was a cutting edge of technology. We went, we got down from the car, ran from Church Gate to Bombay House. And just like in the temple, we saw this person being a thunder lit
nostrils, and we were about to turn and run back. We're not worried about Dr. Irani or Mr. Ratnakar, but we're worried about Milind. So we explained to him that, listen, there was a morcha, but we are in time. We set it up, don't worry, let Dr. Irani come on time. You know what this guy comes back, Milind, and tells us? He says, listen, Dushan, you want our business, you have to plan for any consequences. I said, but Milind, there is morcha. You will morcha. He said, plan for it, my friend. If you want a business, plan for it. If you cannot plan for these contingencies, how are you going to handle a business? Anyway, meeting went off well. And that is where he threw in his googly. We were pretty sure Dr. Irani was happy that we would get the business. After the meeting, Dr. Irani said, great job, etc. He told Milind, they had eye contact, and Dr. Irani left. So we told Milind, all of us, the smiles came out, the tension went. And he said, so Milind, Rishta Pakka Samjhu, business is ours. He said, no, just because Dr. Irani said, he said, I need to think about it. Because I don't know if your planning is weak. You all did not plan for the morcha. So I will let you know tomorrow. Yes, next day we did get the business, and like they say, the rest is history. But yeah, the teamwork, the professionalism that he brought to corporate life. And like one of Raj's closest friends, she was telling me yesterday, she said very little is known of Milind's corporate side and what he did for the Tatas. But I can tell a few of the people over here that what he's done for Mumbai cricket and for Indian cricket for that matter. The other side, in his other life, he's done as much on the corporate side. And Raj, Aditya, you all know, Milind will always be with us, wherever he is. Thank you.
Well, I think it was a very emotional evening, and as everybody said here, be it the MCA office or at the Wankhede Stadium or at the Bombay House, I think Milind sir's presence across all these roles that he played, be it Tata's, be it Mumbai, be it MCA, it was all for the betterment of what role he was playing and for ensuring that everything is in the right place. I'm sure कि Mumbai cricket, Tata, that's a योगदान कभी तो सरना नहीं, and I think as the President said, that this legacy will go ahead and we shall never forget his contribution to Mumbai cricket. Thank you so much everyone, but before we move out, I request the President, office bearers and the family members to offer flowers and then conclude the evening. Thank you so much everyone.